They say, Zay, you got so many flows, how you pick one? How my closet get so many clothes, it can't fit you none. Yes, sir, nigga, I feel hella old, I got
Hey
wisdom.
y'all, thank you so much for tuning in from wherever you are. I'm here with someone that I just discovered a couple of weeks ago. I feel very late, but I'm glad to be here on the ZAYALLCAPS train. So, since I discovered him, I've been dying to know more about him. So, without further ado, please tell me who you are and where you are right now.
Yo, I'm ZAYALLCAPS. I'm Zay, and my artist project is called ZAYALLCAPS. And I'm an artist. I sing, rap, produce, DJ, and I'm in LA right now, but I'm from Northern California.
Got it. Okay. And how old are you, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, I'm 25.
25. When did you turn that age?
In March earlier this year.
Okay, March.
Yeah.
So, what sign are you?
Pisces.
Pisces, that's what I thought. I'm not too good with everybody. I'm a Leo, so I'm like, that's all I know about. But
That's
I'm always
later in the year. It's like September.
August.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, July, August. But anyway, enough about that. So when did you first start making music?
Also, is it too loud? Can you hear?
Oh,
I
you're
don't know.
fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
My homies are over at the crib making music actually.
That's cool. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah. So funny enough, in February of next year, it'll be like 15 years since my first beat I ever made.
Wow.
Yeah. So I started making music when I was 10. I cracked the FL Studio like demo a lot like back in '09. No, 2010. No. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. 15. Yes. Sorry. Yeah. When I
Yeah.
was 10.
Okay, got you. Yeah. So what did it feel like when you got to the end of making your first beat? Were you like, wow, I did it? Or you're like, I want to do more? How did you feel?
That's a good question. I think I was super excited to show my family. Because I was always a kid. Before that, I used to draw a lot, so I'd
Hmm.
always show my parents and aunts and uncles, and show my drawings, put on the fridge, or put in my little drawing book. And then I think when I did my first beat, I recorded. I had like a little like a Metro PCS phone. I
Hmm.
remember recording it on there and showing it to kids at school too, and I was just super. I felt super accomplished.
Yeah, that's what you should. That's amazing. So yeah, talk to me a little bit more about your environment and the kind of like home life that you had that led to so much creativity.
Oh, that's a good question too. So my parents are huge music heads. I feel like mostly underground rap of like the '90s and 2000s,
Hmm.
like MF Doom, Cool Keith, like Murs, like a bunch of um, as well as mainstream rap too. But they also like R&B a lot, and they had a bunch of CDs, and were always on iTunes. And I was aware of music just being a thing from a as long as I can remember, and I was made aware of music production kind of early.
Hmm.
I knew that's something I could get into. And they're not musicians themselves, but yeah, it was always just like it felt accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I have a similar background. Like I grew up like with a single mother, but she loved hip hop. Like she
Yeah.
loved, BPOC, of course, but like also No Limit, Cash Money. Like
Oh,
she was
yeah.
all over the map, but she was somebody that was very much like you pursue this in any way that you can. I'm not a journalist. I
Right.
do
Right.
music, but like go for it. So yeah, I really feel that.
Well, yes, yeah, pretty much same here. My dad, if I had to guess, I think his top three all time. He's from Inglewood,
Hmm.
but I think his top three all time, no order, are like Big DMX and Doom,
Mm.
West Coast stuff like Cube and all that. So yeah.
Yeah. That's what's up. Thank you. Okay. So you mentioned it at the top a bit, but can you tell me again everything that you do? Because I know you create in various capacities.
Yeah, so I started off producing, but I also rap, and I've been getting way more into singing over the last few years. Honestly, last like five years. I started DJing as well, like probably last year, and I engineer a little bit too.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the main stuff. I mean, I guess as of lately, I low key run like an indie boutique label now. That's just me and my
Mhm.
friends.
Yeah.
Uh, Merch and stuff. We're throwing shows, so that's probably the gist of it.
Okay, cool. And is this auto tune karaoke or is it
Yeah,
okay?
auto karaoke. Yep, yep.
Got it. Okay. So that's your umbrella from
Mhm,
everything that you do create.
just creative label for whatever I'm doing. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Tight, tight. So, you have a very, it sounds like you have a very solid foundation from which you create. So I wanted to ask, how do you think your creativity in one area impacts another area? Like from singing to rapping, to DJing to producing to engineering, all the things that you do.
So I've thought about that a lot recently, actually, and I think the main thing it does for me is it like keeps my brain sharp, so I don't feel like I'm wasting away.
Hmm.
Like I could, if I can't write a rap song, I could try to like make some beats. If I can't, if DJing gets boring, I could go practice piano or something.
Hmm.
You know, just it keeps my brain in like multiple places, so I always stay fresh. Feel like I'm working out that muscle.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what else do you like to do besides the things that you've already discussed? Like, what do you do for
Yeah. Uh, Tweet and play basketball. Yeah,
a
that's
lot
the
of people
main
can
thing.
relate to
Yeah.
that.
And then I my roommates at this spot now, like we'll play a lot of like Madden together. Just
Hmm.
you know. Oh, and I've been watching like I've been making myself watch more TV because I don't like I feel like I don't chill enough. So
Hmm.
I've been getting into like The Simpsons as an adult.
Hmm.
Uh, Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, just yeah. But I think like my favorite pastime right now is basketball. I started going like a few times a week
Hmm.
for the first time since I was like in high school. So
Yeah. Okay. It's a strong habit. Okay.
yeah,
I wanted to ask, or I was just going to mention, Aqua Teen. That
yeah,
was when I was younger. That was like my shit, very much. And I want to I want to revisit it. Now that I'm
yeah,
and see like, does the humor still hit? Is it different?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. So like I remember I tried to watch it at like 14 because I'm like I just started smoking weed. So I'm like, oh, let me just see if I get this. And it was cool. But now I watched it and like it's top tier. Like it's real like elite absurdism. It's not completely random. Like there is humor. Like yeah. For at least for how my brain is. I'm kind of fried. So
Yeah,
yeah.
same here. We'll talk about that.
Mhm.
Okay, so who did you grow up listening to and who inspires you now?
Ooh. Okay. So growing up, a lot of Kanye.
Hmm.
A lot of Kanye. I loved T Pain a lot as a kid. Um like mesmerized by T Pain's music. Like it just blew my
Yeah,
mind.
he's
Like
amazing.
yeah, it's on the radio. This is crazy. Uh
Yeah.
uh a lot of Ninth Wonder.
Hmm.
He was like my first favorite producer.
Yeah, little brother.
Yeah, Little Brother. Yep. A lot of Ninth Wonder, Little Brother stuff.
Hmm.
Growing up. Oh, and then once I got to being a teen, a lot of Madlib, like a lot of like every Madlib, like Alias, like so much Madlib. And then and then I started to get into the into listening to like what was on SoundCloud when I was in high school. So like the first wave of plug music and
Hmm.
then selection stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, selection was huge.
That kind of was a turning point for me.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and then right now I feel like I listen to a lot of well when I DJ, so I've been getting into a lot of dance music lately. So
Mhm.
like a lot of footwork, a lot of like ghetto tech, a lot of like house club stuff, and yeah, I listen to way more music than I did like when I was younger even, and I felt like I listened to a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. So I also wanted to ask, what was your goal when you first started out making music?
that's a man, that's a banger. I feel like I wanted to see if I could get good at it, and I felt like I didn't know anyone that did it either, so it felt like a cool like special thing I could be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I don't think I had a goal, which I think is like something I'm grateful for. Like I was just so young,
Yeah.
you know, you're just a kid, you just kind of do stuff. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not thinking about like, am I good? Because I felt like there was nothing to compare it against. I knew
Yeah.
it was just cool that I was making beats, and it's something I just wanted to do every day.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Thank you. So I always like to ask artists this question.
Mhm.
If you don't have an answer, that's okay.
Yeah.
How would you describe your own sound?
Ooh, that's a better question than sometimes people will ask. Like, what kind of stuff you make? I feel like that's the specific differences you like asked are like crucial. Okay, so I love synths, so most of my stuff has some type of, like, synth element to it.
Mhm.
Uh, I like bright sounds. I
Yeah.
also like a lot of harmony in my music, whether that's my own vocals or, like, the actual melodies and the beat itself. Uh, I felt like drums were a weakness of mine, so I try to, like, lock in on drums, so I think my drums are, like, pretty fire.
Mhm.
Um, I think, yeah, I try to have, like, harmonically complex music, even if it's in, like, a hip hop context or, like, R&B context, like, I still want to feel like I want it to be
Yeah.
challenging music. I try to subvert expectations. Even when I'm trying to be more on trend, I try to still, give people a reason to listen to me and not someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then lyrically, I try to same thing, I try to be insightful or, like, quirky or, like, funny or something,
Mhm.
and just not I also try to not say stuff I've heard people say before.
Yeah, that's very apparent.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So I have some
Oh,
work.
and I love sampling. I love sampling. Even when I'm not
Yeah.
sampling, I feel like I still even when I'm not using a sample per se, I'll, like, sample myself. Like, I'll cook some stuff up and then bounce it out and, like, flip the hell out of it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the way it's like it's just unpredictable, you know.
Thank
It's very fun. The words that I wrote down are kooky, goofy, silly,
Oh,
serious,
that's cool.
intentional, revelatory.
Oh, that's fire.
I think it's like two things at once. So I'm gonna get into boy parentheses V.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it? I don't know if I'm saying it right.
I say Boy V.
Okay.
Some people will say Boy 5 and, like, that looks cool, so I don't care, but it's
Okay.
Boy V. Yeah.
Boy V. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is my introduction to your music. It kind of
Yeah.
was a path for me to go back and find your other stuff. But yeah, it's the top song in my library already. So I listen to a lot of fucking music and I
Yeah.
have been listening to this song nonstop for 2 weeks.
That's
So
dope. Thank you.
it's amazing. I love it. It just makes me feel so much joy. And
Aw.
it's like, I don't know, that even though you're talking about some serious shit in there. So yeah, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. Okay. So can you briefly explain the song for anyone who hasn't heard it and
Yeah.
explain how it
Yeah.
came together?
Alright, so my friend Kobe well, funny enough, his producer name is your friend Kobe, but yeah, my homie Kobe, uh, he was posting beats on IG as producers do, and I responded like, "Man, this is fire," and I'm thinking producer to producer, this is sick. We hadn't worked there on anything yet, so, like, I didn't even know I'm someone he would, like, consider sending beats to.
Mhm.
I said, "Yo, this is fire." He's like, "Bet, what's your number?" I'm like, "Oh, shit, right. Oh, yeah, right." So, and then, I kinda hammered out the flow pattern first for the hook at least, and, I was doing my voice memos, and then, like, I just started writing immediately because I felt like the hook was so, like, anthemic that, like, I could really just like, the whole song fell in place once I figured out the hook.
Yeah.
I really wanna just, like, flex, like, my, like, lyrical ability. Like, I feel like it's like, on some rap nerd shit, it's, like, hella internal rhymes and,
Mhm.
like, so much wordplay, but I'm still, like, saying cohesive things.
Yes.
Um, and his beat was already very next level. It's like, it, like, bumps hella hard. The bass is mixed perfectly. It's loud, and still pretty, but then, I was listening to Bjork, like, it took me a minute to get into Bjork. I never, like she was on, like, kinda my, like, queue of artists to, like, check out, and I went to Greatest Hits. I heard Venus as a Boy.
Mhm.
I've, like, seen that song title online before, but just never listened to it, and it fucking blew my mind, and I
Yeah.
was bumping it all day, like,
Yeah.
on loop, just trying to understand it, like, just picking apart my brain, and then it just like, I had a spark, like, "Oh, I should flip this. I should flip this like it's a rap song and put it over the beat he sent me."
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I flipped it in such a classic rap way.
Yeah.
I think it's like a rap nerd's, like, song, but still, like, trendy,
I
and
think
that's
that's very accurate. I think that's why I'm in love with it. I'm like, I try to give myself breaks so I can
yeah,
like come to it and enjoy it
yeah,
again. But yeah, I think it's just so different. Like it's such a cliche thing to say, but it doesn't sound like anything else in my library.
thank
And
you.
I love that. So that's why I was like, let me investigate a little bit further, listen to his other stuff, et cetera, et cetera. But I did want to ask,
Yeah,
so you mentioned like being in the hospital and a
mhm,
couple other things that I was like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. So yeah, I'm bipolar type 1 for anybody that doesn't know, including you. But yeah, so what are you talking about in these
Yeah,
situations?
that's so cool. I'm so glad, like, the cookie crumbs I left, like, you figured out, like, "Oh, shit, it's something." 'Cause I feel like when I listen to artists, I be knowing like, obviously, I can't diagnose anyone, but, like,
Mhm.
I be knowing, like, "Oh, it's something up with him." Like,
Yeah.
he he's seeing some different shit, like,
Yeah.
I'll listen to someone like Gary Wilson or, like, trying to think, like, I don't know, there's this artist I listen to where I'm like, "Yeah, no, he sees stuff in a different way, and the
Mhm,
things he's describing sound like like an episode or, whatever." But,
mhm,
yeah, so I've gotten a few different diagnoses. I don't know which is the official one, but yeah, I'm on that whole spectrum. But basically, yeah. So 2020, I had my first psychotic break, and it lasted for like damn near 6 months.
okay.
I had 3 psych ward hospitalizations in like the span of like 3 months,
Oh, man, that's rough.
and that was like I feel like my life is split up into 2 parts: is before that shit and after.
Yeah.
I'm still finding out ways that the fallout affects me, just how
Mhm,
I process things and just, like, view life, but, yeah, I try to, like I feel like the beat just sounded triumphant and
mhm.
pretty, so I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah," you know?
Yeah, I see, and that's again why I love it so much because I'm listening and I'm hearing you say this very real shit that's relatable to me. And it sounds so majestic and beautiful. Like it just sounds like it would ring off in heaven. Like I'm just like, it's so perfect. But so when you say life a movie, life a game, like it's seeing it, driving scenic, I was in the hospital, I really mean it. It feel like a grip ago was recent. So when you
Yeah.
say life a movie, life a game, like are you talking about how you interpret things in Mania, or are you just is that something else?
So, funny enough, I just meant, like, I just wanna set up a cool punchline 'cause,
Okay.
the game Seen It. Do you remember that game?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for people that don't know, it's like the, like, movie trivia DVD-ROM game from back in the day.
Mhm.
So that was, like, kinda what but also just like when people say, like, "Oh, it's a movie,"
Yeah.
and then, this life is a game. I just want to I want to do a play on, like, cliche
Yeah,
tropes.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
got you. Yeah, yeah. Because for me, it's like whenever like, I had my first experience with bipolar and mania and psychosis in
mhm.
2016. So
Oh, man.
that was my first, like, run-in with it, and it destroyed my life. I had to pick a lot of pieces up, but, I've had multiple episodes since then, like, my most recent one was last November. So, I'm still figuring this shit out,
Yeah,
but, it's to hear other people interpret their own experiences is very helpful. And to be like honest, just to hear your vulnerability is like very important,
thank you.
especially to like the younger kids who might be listening and don't know what's going on or don't know how to talk about what they've been through. So yeah, it's really special to me and I'm sure to many people.
Thanks for opening up about that.
Yeah, of course, of course. It's something that I do in general. Like I write
Yeah,
a lot about bipolar. I talk about it. I have a TikTok. Like I do a lot of shit where I talk about this experience because I don't think people understand it, especially from a POC perspective,
yeah,
from
yeah,
a
yeah.
Black woman's perspective, or whatever. Like, there are
True.
so many different ways to interpret it, and people just don't have all the pieces.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, hey, I'll talk about it. So yeah, I appreciate you talking about it.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
And I think it helps me process it when I put it in the music, especially when I recontextualize it, like, obviously, I have some songs, like, where, like, it feels darker,
Mhm.
but I think it does something for me when I could just, like it's just me telling my own story,
Yeah.
which is, like, what rap's like I'm not gonna say what rap's supposed to be, but that's one of, like, the things rap is, so,
Mm.
you know, it
Yeah.
I wanted to make, like my goal with the song was to, like, make, like, a flex and I'm really cool song, but, like, talk about, like, my values and, like, my struggles.
Yeah, it works. It
Thank
works. It's very well executed. Thank you for making the song.
You're welcome.
So I also wanted to say that you're kind of threading together the harshness of reality with like dreamlike soundscapes. And it's completely different, but it reminds me of people saying like, we're in the club dancing the future and he's depressed. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
kind of how
yeah,
I feel
yeah,
about
yeah,
your
yeah. That
music.
should be so funny to me. That should be so
Yeah.
funny. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So just to touch back on your experience with mania and psychosis or
yeah,
whatever. So that was in 2020, you said?
mhm,
Okay, so and then you experienced three back-to-back hospitalizations.
yeah.
And then what happened?
So then I, like, wasn't getting better after any of them, um, for whatever reason. I wasn't on the meds, whatever.
Mhm,
Uh, and then basically I was staying in LA, but my parents picked me up and brought me back home.
mhm,
and I recovered up there for like another 6 months before going back to LA.
Mhm.
It was like starting over, but like with a kind of a blank slate. But like I don't know. I experienced a lot of shame and like I don't know if guilt's the word, but like it was just like a empty, weird feeling. Like I felt like okay, I'm not manic, but I'm like very depressed.
Yeah.
There's like a hole, there's like a void,
Yeah.
and even before the hospitalizations, I wasn't okay. Like I was dealing with like you know, uh, s terrible depressive episodes.
Mhm.
Like, most of the year, I spend, like, paralyzed with anxiety and stuff.
Yeah.
I j like, I just dropped out of school, like, I was trying to make it work in LA, but I also was on hiatus from music because music made me feel weird.
Mhm.
Um, there's a lot of shit going on. So, it all came to a head with the episode. But, yeah, anyway, I went home and, I just dug it out. It was, like, the pandemic too, I had nothing to do, it was awful.
Yeah.
It was awful, but I got unemployment and then just moved back to LA, and I was like, "Fuck it, Imma build it back up brick by brick,"
Yep.
and, like, so slow and lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what happened, and then, like, yeah, just time kinda I'm not gonna say fix stuff, but yeah, I feel, like, really good for the most part. I feel like, I have a decent grip on my emotions, and I was doing therapy for a while too. That's I don't wanna not say that. I was definitely doing therapy. I had a black woman therapist, so that was cool.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing.
yeah.
So you said now you're good. You're in a good place.
I'd
And
say so. Definitely the best I've been,
okay.
Still got room to grow, of course, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So to hop back to Boy V and your music in general,
Yeah,
who do you make music for? Do you have anybody in mind when you're creating?
that's cool. I think no, I think about it a lot, actually. I make music for music heads, first and foremost. I think
Mhm.
anybody that enjoys, like either enjoys the music they enjoy, like, in a specific sense, like, deeply, or just enjoys a wide variety of music,
Mhm.
uh, I feel like that's what I make music for. I think I make music for people that, like, either understand what I'm saying or can, like, appreciate that I'm saying it
Mhm.
and just think like, "Oh, wow, that's different." Like, he is being vulnerable, that's cool.
Mhm.
Um, I think, I feel like people who like my music are kind of a diverse, group of people, which is cool, like, as far as at least, like, age, like, I feel like I'd be surprised when, like, younger people like it, and I feel, like, really validated when, like, it'd be, like, a 17 or, like, a 20-year-old, they think
Mhm.
it's, like, the shit, and that makes me hella happy because I have little brothers, I have little siblings, so, like, that means a lot to me, but also I love that, like, older folks, like, 30s, 40s like my music, because that's also really validating. Because I feel
Yeah.
like I'm kind of old head at heart, so that shit means the world to me, but,
Yeah.
yeah, I make music for music heads, people who are, like, thoughtful in a
Mhm.
sense, and yeah, I think it shows, like, I think the people that like my music are exactly who I want to like my music.
Yeah. Perfect.
Feels real.
And yeah, I'm 35, so you're hitting that demographic. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Thank you.
Okay, so I know it's probably different for every song that you make, but
Yeah,
could you walk me through like the inception of a song to the completed product?
okay, yeah, and it honestly is different every song, but I feel like sometimes my favorite way to make a song is when I make the beat and immediately the song comes in my head and I just
Mhm.
record it immediately. That's my favorite. That feels the best. It
Mhm.
feels like the least painful sometimes. I feel like it's like easy, it just happens. Uh Otherwise, I think I try to emphasize like being it feels the best when it's quick. Like Boy V, I wrote that whole shit in probably like 40 minutes because it
Mhm.
just poured out of me. Like there's even parts didn't end up using. Like it just like made so much sense. I like locked in. I like to make music in isolation. Like right now, my homies are over to make music, which is like a rarity. Like they had to kind of be like, let me know in advance, let me know what they
Yeah.
wanted, like really get me ready because I my whole life, most of my time spent making music was in isolation, so it's my comfort zone.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, sometimes I'll just like have a feeling where I need to go make a beat, and I'll
Mhm.
do it, and then I'll usually stockpile the beats and come back to them. As of lately, I haven't really enjoyed getting beats, whether they're my own or someone else's, and like writing to them after the fact, I feel like it needs to feel more organic. Maybe because I started trying to learn piano, so I feel like music has to like feel more physical to me. I got to be like touching something while I make the
Yeah.
songs, which is
Yeah.
why I think making beats and the song now feels the best. But yeah, it is always different. I try to just figure out what makes the most sense for how I'm feeling
Yeah.
and what the song calls for.
For sure. Thank
Yeah,
you. Okay. So is there anybody in your head that is like a dream collaboration?
it's a good question. Um, Short answer, no, honestly. Um, yeah, honestly, I'm no. I think I guess some of my friends I haven't worked with yet who I like really admire, who I like could see as having like a specific kind of collab. Like there's a few friends I want on my album that I'm working on now, but like because it just hasn't happened yet. But as far as like artists I listen to, for the most part, no. I think in general, as a fan, I'd be feeling like if I like your music, it's like already like perfect to me. I wouldn't add anything to it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I just want to listen. I just want to enjoy hands off.
Yeah. It's very selfless of you. I don't think
Oh
I've ever heard anybody say that.
now sometimes I do get selfish though. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I like what you do, but I have a vision. I think it would sound fucking crazy. I've done it before, and I think there's been good results from that.
Mm.
But yeah, for the most part, I feel really humbled by like someone else making music I think is perfect or like as good as mine or better.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Another question that I love to ask is what is the highest thought that you have for your life? Or what is something that you would like to see come to fruition in your lifetime as an artist, as a person, anything?
Whoa, that's a deep one. I like it. Uh, wow. Funny enough, like maybe a month or two ago, like super late at night, I went out to drive to one of my favorite like viewpoints.
Mhm,
I like wrote down my 1, 3, and 5 year goals, which I hadn't done since I was like 17.
mhm,
Um, and a lot of it was just I want to be someone that like is on top of my habits and routines,
mhm.
and I want to build a life where I know what I'm gonna do like at most parts of the day, and I have like structure
Yeah.
and I'm just content with that structure. And I feel like the structure will allow me to create more freely too. So I think
Yeah.
that's honestly that's kind of abstract, but that's like the main goal. That's like something that I see like reoccurring in my notes and stuff.
Mhm,
And aside from the obvious ones like make a modest living from music
mhm.
and music related stuff. But yeah, nothing crazy right now, at least not yet.
Yeah, yeah. It's sometimes simplicity is for the best.
I
So,
just don't think so hard.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Okay, just a few more questions.
yeah.
Um,
It's
so, what are you most excited about for the end of this year and next year?
oh man, so I'm excited to finally get some videos done for iMessage Platinum that just came out, and then I still want to do like at least one video for my first album, Balling Out of Spite, because that one's just too special to me.
Mhm,
Uh, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to like finally shift gears with my releases because I think I, I I'm really proud of iMessage Platinum and all the songs, and I think they're really great. But I don't think it represents the whole of what I do,
mm,
and it's just what's out right now. I feel like all the shit I have coming after that is like more representative of like my artistic vision, and I'm excited for people to see that, for it to like kind of catch up to what I'm doing.
yeah.
Like, I got like some cool shit coming out for sure. So I'm excited to get into that and just start prepping and finishing up the album that's gonna come out next year, which I've been working on like for a minute.
Mhm.
That's I'm just excited to just like I'm excited for the version of me that's like gets to hear the album when it's done.
Yeah.
Feel like it's
Good.
over with it. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to.
Good, good. I can't wait. Okay, so what legacy are you trying to leave behind? I know you're in the middle of what you're doing.
Oh, that's cool.
Think a little further.
I It was never a goal of mine, but I've noticed that like some people will tell me that I inspire them, and that feels really cool. Feels like I did a good thing with the music.
Mhm.
'Cause a lot of times the music stuff just feels a little selfish, you know. So I feel like I want to let people know that they should do what they want to do
Mhm.
and like what brings them peace and makes them feel like they're making a difference or making a mark. And I want people to not be satisfied with like mediocrity,
Yeah.
whether that's what they're making or what they're like, consuming.
Mhm.
And I just want people to care, I guess. And I feel like if you could care about the arts, you could like start caring about other things too, just having more passion in your life in general. So
Yeah.
I think that's what I want my legacy to be. And like, aside from obviously I want to help out like my loved ones if I make some bread, some real bread off this. But yeah, that's kind of that's what I want. Oh, and I want to just continue to be respected by my peers, which I luckily enough I feel like that's already the case. I feel like I get a lot of love from my artist homies,
Mhm.
and that makes me feel good. So I want to keep doing that.
Good. All right. That's what's up. Okay, so is there anything that you want people to know about you that might not be out there already?
Hmm. I kind of spoke on it earlier, but I just have so much more in store, and like I don't want people to get used to there being a certain sound in my music because it's always I'm gonna do whatever stimulates me, and
Mhm.
it's a bunch of different shit. So I'm excited for people to hear more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Last question. Is there anything else that you would like to say?
Mm, just keep an eye out. I'm not done. Just getting started low key, even though it's been like a very long time. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not done. Once I really like really could play piano, it's like so over.
It's a
It's
wrap.
looking like crazy.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I'm just really happy to be excited by the music again. I feel
Yeah.
like it's in like waves, but right now I feel super excited for what's possible. Um, and yeah, I just want people to. I want people to just keep giving their eyes and ears and just be open to what I have to drop. So that's all.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Well, perfect. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you.
I really appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
Karaoke niggas, man. These are rich ass niggas, man.
They say, Zay, you got so many flows, how you pick one? How my closet get so many clothes, it can't fit you.